My name is Coach Albert. This is my client, Kevin. And I wanted to interview him because we went through an amazing transformation over these last 6 months. And yeah, Kevin, thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you for putting up with that. That was
No, I like it, whatever. We learn from our mistakes, and some of you guys who were watching the live probably noticed that we were trying to figure out getting on live and doing this correctly. But we're here. So I'm happy we made it, and I'm excited to talk to Kevin. Let's go. So Kevin, how you doing today?
doing much better now.
Yes.
That was a rough 10 minutes or so. That was rough.
I mean, these social media apps can be a little finicky and a little bit stressful, but it is what it is, I'm happy we got on.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, just give me one sec here. Let's see what is going on. Kevin. So, Kevin was in my program, and we lost a lot of body fat. We're gaining a lot of muscle, and we went through a crazy transformation. I would say a life-changing transformation. So I just wanted to, Kevin, if you could just maybe introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and your initial experience in the program.
So when I program, I was 41 years old. I was in a real bad spot, no value, no self-worth. I wasn't really participating with my family in anything. So one day I came across your videos on YouTube. Don't know what rabbit hole I went down, but your videos popped up and they just struck a chord. And I started watching them more and more. And you start talking about self-talk, self-worth, all things that I forgot about, all things that honestly meant nothing at the time. And then the more I watched your videos, the more that message started sinking in. So it was around April, I subscribed to your Instagram page and you reached out to me. I didn't respond. I wasn't there yet. And then close to May, my wife and son were sitting in the kitchen and I was outside. Realized that I was missing out on everything. And that's when I reached out to you. And that's what got the ball rolling. And I haven't looked back since.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
So let me ask, when I reached out to you at first and maybe you didn't respond, was there oh, what is this guy? What does he want? Or was there there was still lacking a little bit of trust, maybe?
It wasn't a trust issue. It was, I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that moment of, damn, I got to do something.
Yeah.
And when that moment hit, that's when I decided to respond.
Yeah, when that moment hit, let's talk about that moment. What do you think inspired you to want to make that change?
I was tired of who I was. I didn't value myself anymore. I was tired of hiding under layers of clothing. Every time I sat down, I would put something over my stomach so no one saw it. And I honestly wasn't showing up for myself anymore. I would show up to work. I would show up for my family for stuff, but got to a point where I wasn't doing anything that was benefiting me. That was my moment.
Yeah.
Down painkillers to block out my neck, my back, anything to just kind of take the edge off. I wasn't being the father I should have been, and I wasn't the husband my wife needed. And that's when I realized, all right, let's see what he has to offer. And from that point on, I never looked back.
Hell yeah. No, he didn't. Kevin never looked back. I feel like we hit the ground running, and the thing is that Kevin never missed a check-in. He never misses a group call. He never misses a Zoom call. He's never missed. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about that mindset. How did you just start to show up to every call, do every check-in? How did you start doing that?
Well,
you were excited to do it, or you're just I'm in this program, I'm gonna do it regardless. What was your mindset?
Having someone hold me accountable and having someone who isn't concerned about my feelings, someone who can be honest Like
Yeah.
I was joking around with you, I think, I don't know, it was a week ago. I remember you made a comment about how I was. You're the only one that was ever honest to me. You weren't concerned about my feelings, you were telling me the truth.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
once I saw, once I realized that's how the world sees me, you were honest. I'm like, all right, this is what I wanted. Someone to tell me the truth and jumping into it. And what made it easy to do is it was fun. I didn't mind workouts. I enjoyed that. That was jumping into that, having the fun, pushing myself,
Mm-hmm.
realizing how much strength I lost over those years of abusing myself. Like, all right, damn, I'm weak now to be stronger.
Yep.
And it was like, all right, I got to prove to myself. So do one more rep, do one more mile, do one more step. And it worked. And I just enjoyed that fun. And the check-ins, you always do them. Mindset, those are the best ones. So
Absolutely. I appreciate you sharing that. You know, I feel like, some people can handle the truth and then some people aren't ready for the truth. And I feel like the truth will set people free. And a lot of people lie to themselves, and the people that they love, they lie to them too. And like when you hear the truth from someone, it can either be like, I'm not ready for that, or it can be like, wow, he's right, because you kind of resonate, and it kind of like your conscience is like, I agree with that.
I
Even though
knew what I knew what the truth was. I just wasn't ready to hear it.
mm-hmm.
So having you say that, and it wasn't anything hurtful, it was the
Yeah.
truth. And it was like, all right, he has a solid point, and it's like, what do you do after that?
Yeah.
You deny it still, or do you realize that, yeah, okay, here we go?
Yeah, for sure. So Kevin, you've lost close to, I think, 45, 55 pounds. Just double checking real quick.
I'd say somewhere around 50, 55-ish in that
Mm-hmm.
range.
And I would honestly say we've lost closer to 65 pounds and gained about 10 pounds of muscle. It's really hard to gauge, but just with his pictures, and I'll post his picture later. Like you could just see, like we had a big gut. You had a gut, and now you have abs.
I did. And my wife's laughing at that comment right now. I had a gut.
Yeah, I mean that's the truth. He had a gut. His stomach was protruding out,
Yeah,
and now he has a flat washboard abs. So that's pretty freaking epic. So let me ask, what, because like I'm really inspired by your consistency, just how you show up, and working with a lot of clients, like you really impressed me with just how you show up to every call, every group call. You never miss a check-in. You always log your nutrition. It's just, I call him Mr. Consistency. And that's why he's gotten such crazy results in such a short period of time, is because he hasn't missed much. You haven't missed really anything. So I wanted to know, like, what has been the hardest part of this process on showing up on a daily basis? Like, and how did you overcome the hardest part?
so the hardest part was getting the self-talk and the mindset down,
Mm-hmm.
trying to rewire that part of my head that was always negative. So that definitely was a struggle at first, trying to do what you say by stacking wins or doing positive things. You know, like you've said in the past, and it's true, I can't think my way into doing these things. That wasn't working. So when I started the exercise program again, and I started getting a little stronger, and I started feeling more confident in myself, that's when I started putting more effort into the self-talk. I would re-listen to, it's one of your older videos that came in on the onboarding packet. It was a self-talk one, and I can't tell you how many times I listened to that. Every single walk, it was playing in the background because I wanted to get what I could from it. And when it started kicking in, is I lost about 10 pounds. I was a little more confident, and I wore a T-shirt for the first time in the summertime in front of people, and I wasn't as scared. And I considered that a big win because I was becoming confident. And then every workout after that, every check-in, every meal, I just started telling myself why I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And just, even if I didn't want to do it, I would tell myself we have to do it because that feeling I was getting. And you did a training a few weeks ago about removal,
Mm-hmm.
and it made sense why I was doing it. I wasn't trying to add stuff onto my plate. I was trying to take stuff off. I didn't want to be angry. So when I did the workouts, that's where it came out. I could push harder. The self-confidence lacking it. When I was doing that stuff, I felt better. And when I would be done, I would send you random pictures sometimes just flexing for fun because
I love it.
that's my personality showing more.
Mm-hmm.
The feedback, well, I took away fear by doing that exercise and I gained confidence. And it just started becoming easier each time. And now I know I have 2 hours every day when I get home. That's my time. That's when I focus on that I have a bad day. Well, now I'm going to take it out of my system. I'm going to find a way to turn a 12-hour shift that broke me and take 2 hours and feel better about myself.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, the self-talk, I feel like, is a big part of my program because that's what helped me the most. And I feel like the clients that really take it serious, it's going to, you know, you're going to get more out of the program than just the physical change. Because a lot of people, a lot of these fitness coaches and a lot of other people going through fitness journeys, they're just focused on exercise and nutrition. And they're just focused on getting a result, which is cool. And, getting a result, going through a transformation, you're going to gain confidence from that. It's going to be a good experience. But a lot of people on their fitness journey, they're showing up and they're like, I got to show up. I'm a piece of shit. I need to do better. A lot of people have negative self-talk trying to push them to take action. And I try to teach we have to have positive self-talk to push us to take action so we can feel empowered. And our whole life we've been conditioned to think a certain way about ourselves, and our whole life we've been conditioned to, feel and think a certain way. But once we start to be more aware of our thoughts and more aware of the conversation in our head, when you stack the positive acts with the positive self-talk, it's like they work synergistically. And I feel like with the self-talk and the positive act combined, I feel like we can get to a result quicker because you're more excited about it. You're more in tune with the process instead of not even paying attention to your self-talk and just doing the work versus, really being self-aware while doing the work so you can actually get that dopamine in the moment. Because when you tell yourself when you're doing the work, I'm a badass. I showed up for myself. I did this shit. And, I don't know what you say to yourself, but I know when you're working out that you're conscious about your self-talk, right?
Yeah. One of the things I always say to myself when I'm working out is, it's basic stuff, but you can do this, you got this, you are a badass. Prove to others that they're not what they think of you, just that I'm better and I deserve
Yeah.
this. And when I'm starting to tire out, that's when I really start pushing it.
Yeah.
Like, tired, but you couldn't do this 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Go harder.
100%.
And I always consider that like I can't run. I got really bad asthma. So the fact that I can go from not being able to do it to doing my definition of a run, which is 20 minutes, to me is insane because I couldn't do that. And when I'm doing it, it's like, holy hell, I have to text coach that I'm running.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to get into the next question. Because there's a drastic visual change from when you first started to now. So how do you feel now, feeling, all around when it comes to your joints, your body, your mindset? How do you feel now compared to when you started, both physically and mentally?
From a physical standpoint, I'm on roughly, I want to say the last time I took any type of painkillers, Advil or the medical stuff I had when I blew my back out, it's probably been since about November. And I went from limping around a lot because my back would go out or my neck would be locked up, and that was almost daily. And then when it got really bad, I would take the stuff I got from my doctor. It's been a long time. I move looser. I'm not as stiff. And from an appearance standpoint, I'm wearing a t-shirt. I don't have to suck my stomach in anymore.
Did you wear a t-shirt before you started?
No, I never did. It could be 100 degrees outside and I would be wearing a hoodie.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I would justify that because I work in a refrigerator. And I would just say, well, it's part of my job to wear this.
Yeah.
It was a security blanket.
But you were also maybe a little bit insecure about your body, maybe?
100%. That hoodie, that jacket was security.
And now you're kind of you kind of want to show off your body. You're proud about it. You're proud.
As soon as I get that tank top, you're getting a picture. So
See, guys, I just feel like that is so massive. Before he started, he was hiding his body, he was insecure, he wasn't able to wear a t-shirt. Now he's excited to get a tank top and show off his body. Like, guys, you should want to be screaming your wins from the mountaintops. A lot of people who have negative habits and they create a life of like regret and shame, they don't want to show off because they have a bunch of regret and shame. They don't want to show off anything. But once we create something that we're proud of, it's like we gotta show off. That's why I'm not a fan of the word humble. If you look up the definition of humble, it's a low opinion of oneself. And that's why when he's working out in the gym, he's like, I'm a badass. I got this. I'm proving everybody wrong. That's not humble, but it's very empowering. It gives you that sentiment, that dopamine. And I'm getting chills talking about this because it resonates with me. That's how when I walk in the gym, I'm like, nobody's fucking with me. I'm the best in this here. I'm the best just because I'm so at peace with who I am and I validate myself with my work that I'm just proud of myself. So the self-talk I have is just so affirming, and I hope that that's kind of what you feel too.
yeah, from a mindset standpoint, by doing everything you've taught, by applying it and learning to forgive myself for my past mistakes and trying to be better, I'm finding I'm becoming more
Yeah.
calmer. I'm becoming confident. I do carry myself differently. I'm more engaged with my family. You know, um,
You're more present. You're more present.
yeah, I am. And my son needed a better father. He needed to see, he needed to see someone with confidence, someone who was proud. And I wasn't teaching him that. He was learning the exact opposite.
How old
So to
is
finally,
your son?
my son's going to be 13 in a couple of weeks. So,
Badass.
and to finally just to love myself again is a good feeling. It's just fun to finally say I'm back on track. It's fun to do things, and again, it gets me emotional thinking about it.
It
So
should. I mean, I've watched you through this process go through day in and day out, showing up for yourself, and it's inspiring. And you have a Boston accent?
no, I don't.
Okay, Stephen was asking. I think you're from New York. You have a little bit of an East Coast thing
I'm
going on.
from New York, but my mother's from Rhode Island, so I picked up some of her bad traits. And my dad is from Italy, so I picked up some of his traits.
Nice.
So
But back to the superhero thing, like, you should, yeah, you want your kids to look at you like you're a superhero. I'm not a parent, but like, if I was, like, I would want my kids to be like, my dad is a superhero. Holy crap. Like, because it's going to be so much easier for you to parent them. Because when I was a kid, I wouldn't listen to my parents because, I felt like they weren't they weren't superheroes. If my dad was jacked and very confident, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. And I'm not saying I was a bad kid in general, but I think I would have listened more to my parents and my teachers if they were people that I aspired to be like. If they didn't carry a bunch of regret and shame, if they didn't lack discipline, it's so much easier to listen to someone when the person respects themselves. And you can tell, you can just tell. So, and I tell Kevin, like, you're very close from like you're a fitness model now. He went from like, I wish I could share this on the live stream. I'm going to share his transformation afterwards. But if you guys go on my story right now, I posted his before and after picture. You're about a few months away, I would say, from like, being on a fitness magazine. So
damn right.
with that transformation, like what would be one piece of advice, or you could give a couple pieces of advice to someone who is about to start their transformation, or maybe when you first started, or someone who's maybe scared to start their fitness transformation? What's some advice that you would give to people just starting out?
Believe in yourself. You know, really believe in yourself. Understand
That's good.
100% worth it, and put trust in you. Like, I think that was probably the biggest success is putting my trust in you and developing that trust over the last couple of months. I think we're in 7 months now, knowing that, yeah, you're on the other side of the country, but I know you have my back. I know that if I don't show up, you're going to hold me accountable. And I think having that trust, the accountability, and really getting the self talk down, you can be unstoppable.
Yeah.
I think that those are the main things. If you can just get all of that together, you really can't be beaten. So
100%. I love that you said self belief, because like I feel like all it takes for you guys to go through a transformation is self belief and a plan, you know. And so he really said it amazingly, where it was self belief, and he put his trust in me because I have the plan for him. You know, I have a step by step plan. I'm gonna tell you what to eat, when to work out. I'm gonna give you the exact plan. But if you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna follow through on the plan. Like, so you guys have to really believe in yourself. That's everybody's problem. You know, if you believed 100% that you could reach your goals, you would show up and do it. But if you have that self doubt lurking back there, and you start doing the work and you don't see results right away, people get discouraged. You know, but he just put his trust in me, and like we weren't seeing results right in the first couple months. I don't think we saw results crazy right away, but he kept believing in himself. He kept trusting the process. And yeah, I like what you said there. It was perfect.
no.
So cool, cool. Yeah, I appreciate you know getting vulnerable here and sharing your story. Do you believe? I mean, I work with a lot of people with ADHD, and I know you maybe mentioned maybe you are, maybe you're not. You might have some symptoms. Do you believe that this fitness transformation played a role in maybe helping your ADHD or?
So I don't have it, but I've shown tendencies of it. I've just never been diagnosed. But it's helped. A lot of the things you talk about have I've been able to apply to my life, and a lot of those things I've been able to apply to my son because he's ADHD. So some of your teachings have kind of rubbed off on him.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned not to procrastinate. I've learned to plan my days better. I can go to work and do all that stuff, but when I came home, that was where I was the laziest. But actually having the app and things that need to get done and those plans,
Mm-hmm.
it helped me manage my time much better. So like I know that when I get home, it's creatine, it's a workout, it's meal prep. Having that stuff to help me kind of guide my evening made a big difference.
100%. And you mentioned the app a little bit. Like, how do you like the app? What's the feel about? Tell me your experience with using my app.
I like knowing that there's a lot of people in the group. I like knowing that there's Bradley wherever he's at. Damon is in Oregon. Samantha, all these people. I like knowing that they're out there all with the same goals, different lifestyles, but we're all going for the same thing. So it's kind of nice to have that community. It's
Yeah,
kind of nice to get like, oh, you hit a PR and someone recognized it. I think that's awesome. That's just, it's having, it feels like you have friends all across the country that are just rooting for you. And then you get to root them on too. And I think that's the best part.
100%. Yeah, I think the community is one of the most. It's one of the biggest part of my. I feel like it's just because you guys are in this together, and you see that you can see when someone hits a workout, you can see someone when they hit their daily nutritional goal, and it inspires you. And then when you see Kevin go through this crazy transformation, and you're in the same program, you're like, oh my God, I have the opportunity to go do what Kevin did, and I'm in the same program Kevin is, and he went through a life changing transformation. So that means any of the clients that are watching this or in the program can do exactly what Kevin did. And the nutrition tracking, just like Steven, who's in the community as well. How do you feel about tracking your nutrition and when it first started? I know a lot when people first start tracking their nutrition, it's kind of like maybe a little anxiety riddled or there's some mental resistance there. But can you tell me how it was with you?
It was a little tricky at first, but once I started finding certain recipes, like me, I do 6 days a week at work. So I'm not going to be waking up to make a big breakfast, but I found the protein cereal 100% consistent. I can do that every day. So that one was locked in. I knew that's the go-to meal. And then once that was figured out, I started figuring out what lunch was going to be. And it's pretty much the same routine each week, just because I know I can be consistent. So,
And you enjoy the foods
oh,
too.
I love it. And once I started planning out my meals, that was easy. And then when I started getting into the prepping more, I knew, okay, I got 4 or 5 days of food. I'm going to plan out my week. I'm going to get it logged in for the week. So this way I know at Tuesday at, let's say, 2 p.m., I'm having this ready and it's there. I'm not second guessing. I'm not waiting to the last minute. It's mapped out for me and I'm not scrounging for food.
Hmm.
So I think that's probably the best part of that app. You can plan it out, plan your week out, and then you don't have to second guess.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, you got into like a rhythm where you're just. I feel like you're just in such a good rhythm right now, where it feels like you're unstoppable. Um, was there anything about the program that maybe surprised you or shocked you?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't expecting to be here today. That's the biggest surprise for me. I didn't know when I started how much I was going to change. I didn't realize how accessible you were going to be. I didn't know that there was going to be support the way there is in the group and in the app. Those are the things that surprised me. Because when you start off, you're new and you get a feel for everything. But if you would tell me 7 months ago that I'd be sitting here today talking to you about this, that would be my biggest surprise. And all of that came from you and the app and the group.
Well, I mean, it came from you putting in the work.
Well,
So, I mean, yes, I, had the game plan for you, but, I'm really proud of your effort and consistency. Yeah, it came from me, but the athlete makes the coach doesn't make the athlete. So, I mean, I'm just really proud of our work together. And like, you're just an animal, dude. Like in a
I,
good way.
I do enjoy the workouts and I enjoy testing myself. I don't have a
Yeah.
lot of them, but I really do enjoy seeing what I can do
Mm-hmm.
and how hard I can push myself with what I have. And imagination comes into play a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I try to get my clients to shift their mindset. And like, there's two ways to have fun. We can have fun going to the movies, jet skiing, self-sabotaging, but we can also have fun with what he just said by pushing ourselves, seeing what we're capable of. It's pretty cool to hit PRs, to see the vein coming through, to see that you're in control of your life. When I first saw like my first bicep vein coming through, or when I first saw my abs coming through and I was getting really strong, it gave me a realization that I'm in control of my life. Every decision I make is getting me closer to this man I want to be. And that's pretty, I think that's pretty fun, where you're just like going throughout your day, just consciously getting 1% better. And you're just very aware of your decisions and choices. And you're just empowered by making these choices. Um, cool, cool. Let me see here. You know, if someone, maybe watching or is maybe skeptical about starting a program like this, would you have any insight for them?
Yeah, I tell them to do it. I tell them to do it. Hands down, just do it.
But a lot of people are struggling. It's just that taking that first step. What was it with you? Because you mentioned when I first reached out to you, you ghosted me at first, and then you weren't ready or something. But like, you know, maybe you were just at a really low point and you just needed to change. But some people who maybe not be at that low point and they're just maybe skeptical about starting something like this. Do you have any other thoughts?
What's the price of your happiness?
Yeah.
What do you to yourself? You know, if,
Mm-hmm.
if you were starting this program or you were hesitant, take a look in the mirror about how you look and how you feel and really judge yourself. Be honest. And if you can be honest with yourself at that moment, then you're ready.
Yep.
Sometimes
Exactly.
you need to have fear of what you could lose. I knew what I was losing. So if there's someone out there who wants to join this program and wants to benefit from it, ask yourself that question. What's the price of your happiness and what are you willing to lose?
Mm-hmm.
You want to lose the life you have or do you want to gain the life you deserve? I was losing the life I had. I was my marriage, my son. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't working. That's not worth losing to me. That's worth saving. So that's what I would tell somebody. Take a look at your life and ask yourself those questions. So
Powerful. Powerful. That reminds me of a quote. Procrastination is risking the life you could be living. You know,
yeah.
like what if he, what if you didn't take action with me, 7 months ago? What if you decided to procrastinate and you said, I'm fine, it's not that big of a deal? Where do you think you would be right now?
Not here.
Yeah, of
I don't think
course.
would still be in my home right now because I wasn't the husband my wife deserved. I wasn't the nicest person to be around. I was bringing everybody down with me. So you talk about vibrations and all that. I was at the bottom,
Hmm.
and misery loves company. So I would make sure that if I'm miserable, well, now everyone's going to be miserable. And when that's put in front of you, when you're told, hey, this is what's happening, you change. And then if I didn't, I don't think I'd be in my home right now. I think I'd be somewhere else regretting that I didn't take those first steps. So, and that gets me choked up because I've been with my wife for, God, I knew we were dating since we were pretty much 16. So to know that my actions 7 months ago helped bring her back to me, that's worth every penny I've spent so far.
Great. Wow. That gave me chills.
Um,
Thank
it did
you
me
for
too. So that's
yeah. I mean, thank you for being vulnerable and being authentic right now. Like, I do want people to understand that it's. I try to tell people this. It's not just about the results. It's not just about burning the fat, building the muscle. I feel like those are byproducts of all this. What he really got was his life back.
yeah.
He got his. He literally just he got his life back, his confidence back. You're. I can't even really articulate what I want to say, but it's very powerful. It's very powerful. I'm on the verge of tears.
Uh,
So,
I,
I mean,
I get to be me again. I get to be the person that she married. I get to be the person I want to be. Um, Building a relationship with my son that I always wanted with my dad. We do meal prep together. We work out together. So to just know that that's what this program has given me so far, and to know that that's the person I've been building, that's awesome.
that is awesome. Kevin's got me crying. Okay,
Me too.
so I know we kind of went over this a second, but I just feel like the biggest change in you has been your mindset. Even though you went through your body is way different, your strength is way different, but I just feel like just your mindset has been the biggest change, just from my perspective. What do you feel like has been the biggest shift in your mindset?
The biggest shift would be the way I value myself, the way I carry myself in public, the way I approach things now. Excuse me. So, and just overall looking at things differently. It's not as dark. I'm not dreading waking up in the morning. I'm more optimistic about the day. Um, I'm more outgoing in my life. And with the self talk, it's become very natural in a lot of ways. So it's no longer, I can't do this. It's maybe, okay, you can't do this yet, but you're going
Yeah.
to. Or, hell yeah, you just did this. Now do more. And I think that's the biggest shift for me. It's no longer a defeatist mindset, it's more of a winning mindset. I'm going. So,
And guys, 7 months is a blink of an eye. Your life is a long. So this is going to change his trajectory of his life and the close people around his life for the rest of their life. So just understand that I like 7 months isn't that long of a time, and just doing that work for that period of time, and then now being this person, it's just your trajectory is you're on a whole different path. You're going this way, now you're going this way. So I hope that makes sense, but I just think it's just crazy how things have transformed that have nothing to do with building muscle strength. It's just like the whole family stuff, you being more confident father, and you're a boss at your work. So there's so many variables in your transformation that are just inspiring. So a little bit about the physical change. What do you think was the biggest milestone with some of your physical wins?
well, one of the biggest milestones was being able to do a pull up again. That was a big one because I think I was pushing 230. I wasn't lifting that up. So to finally lose the weight and gain the strength to do that, that was a big milestone. Seeing the veins come back in my arms after losing them. I was a swimmer in high school. I used to be lean and somewhat muscular.
Well, you had them. You just had a layer of fat over them.
Oh, of course, yes, I did. But to start watching them pop in again, that was like, oh, sweet, something's happening. And then when I turned 42, I sent you a picture. I'm like, dude, check this. I have abs starting to come in, and you hyped me up. And then I sent you a picture sometime in November. You've used it a bunch of times. It's where I'm just kind of, but
Oh, you show you in your abs?
yeah. And that was like, holy hell. That's the person I've been trying to work on. That was probably my biggest milestone.
Yep,
My chest,
I remember that.
my abs were really starting to show. I was
Mm-hmm.
smiling. I've been breaking my ass for all these months. And then to take that picture, to see the results compared to day one to day whatever that would be, that was huge for me. And I'm like, that's not changed now in the next 7 months. I can't wait to see that.
Me too. Me too. And another thing I noticed about a physical change, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but it seems like your skin is very clear.
Yeah.
You know, we've changed. Yes, he is 42. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your skin is very clear. A lot of people, like, we started to remove more fast food, more greasy food, more processed foods. We're working out. We're doing more cardio. Like, your body just wants to naturally heal. And I just noticed, like, looking at you on this camera, your skin looks impeccable.
I did shave. I made sure I shaved before this.
Yeah, but just how clear your skin is. I mean, you just look good. For 42, you look like you look younger than me, and I'm 33.
I'll be 43 this year, so I'm really trying.
Yeah,
and
43 is the new 23, guys. Look at him.
I do not feel my age. I feel much younger, and I feel much better about myself.
Yeah, but 7 months ago, did you feel your age or older?
Oh, I felt horrible. I felt older. I think in that picture I had a zit on the side of my head, so I'm like, God damn, I look like crap.
And it's just 7 months, guys. Just 7 months. I just feel like, it's just all you do is commit for 7 months, and you just show up for 7 months. It changes your whole life in every aspect, in every single aspect. So I wanted to quickly, I know we went a little bit long. I want to quickly talk about, like, your relationship with food. Do you feel like your relationship with food has changed? Because you're kind of like a dog now. We're similar. We just eat the same thing every day. A lot of my clients, I know Damon watching, he loves variety and he loves creativity. Me and Kevin are kind of the same, where we can kind of eat the same thing every single day and be fine with that. I wanted to talk a little bit about your mindset about that.
So what makes it really easy for me is if I have milk, I die. So I've spent
allergy.
Yeah. Oh, I go into anaphylactic shock and it's over. So I've spent my whole life eating the same meals over and over again. I just got accustomed to it. So, like with the meal plans, it doesn't bother me to have the same dish for 3, 4 weeks in a row. One, I know I can portion it out properly, and I'm confident in the amounts I'm giving myself, and they're good. I mean, let's just be honest, they're really good.
Yeah.
So that helps, but I just got used to the same stuff just from habit. And once I got confident with those dishes, I knew that if I'm doing a protein pasta sauce, I know how much I'm getting out of it, and that was easy.
Let me ask, like, what do you think is, like, a few things that you learned about nutrition during this process in the program?
That I don't have to be scared of food. I just need to be more responsible. I don't need to shove an entire box of Pop-Tarts down my throat like I used to do. Now, if I have one, I'm like, okay, I can just do one.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be scared of. I have discipline now.
Mm-hmm.
Where before I have discipline with food, I would just eat till I was happy, or just till I silenced whatever was in my head. Now I know that I can eat. I'm comfortable with it. I'm not overindulging anymore. I have a better relationship because I'm not hurting myself with it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like, you're in control of the decisions when it comes to your food?
Yeah, I do. I don't think the food has power over me anymore.
Yeah.
Where it used to just be sitting on the couch, eating until I was happy or because I was bored. It was there.
Yeah.
Now, food, it's a tool. I guess if that.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people think we have relationships with food, and I believe, we should. There is a relationship with food, but it's like, what's the dictatorship?
Yeah.
We're in control, and I feel like just watching you, I feel like you're kind of almost excited to eat with purpose, because you want results.
I look forward to my breakfast. I do. I don't know why. That's my favorite meal of the day. It covers all my bases. I look forward to that. And now with like lunch and dinner, I know why I'm eating it. I know the benefits of it. I know what I'm getting from it. So I hope that answered the question, but I
100%.
know it's there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know I'm asking a couple questions. Does anybody watching the live have any questions for me or Kevin? Or Kevin, is there anything that you wanted to add about your transformation, about your journey?
Oh, the one thing I could say is it was a lot of fun doing it. And building that trust with you and building this relationship has probably been one of the best parts of my life so far, knowing that I got a guy out there looking out for me. So that's definitely been probably one of my favorite parts of it. Like
Appreciate that.
that's it's nice to know that there's someone out there who's keeping me honest and pushing me.
Yeah,
You don't a lot of people, so that's something I think is worth sharing.
yeah, 100%. Stephen, you said you submitted a question. What was your question, Stephen? I'm trying to find it.
You have 3% left.
We can
No,
stop
no,
here in a second. I'll just
good. You're good.
so cool. How you? I mean, now that you got to this position where you're like a fitness model, confident superhero father, how are you going to maintain this?
I'm never going back. I'm going to be tagging along in your program as long as you keep me.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
I can't. I worked too hard to get this far, and I'm not getting younger, so
You
I
look
don't
like
want to.
you are. Looks like you're aging in reverse now.
I hope to, but I
Like
know that
Benjamin Button.
I want to do this as long as I physically can, and I don't want to let this feeling go.
Yeah, because 100%, 100 freaking percent. Kevin, you're such a badass, bro. I appreciate you, getting on this live with me and just being vulnerable and answering these questions. But one last question, because I'm all about feeling proud. I tell people that as long as we can figure out how to be proud of ourselves each day, the results are going to follow. And what would you say is your most? Yeah, if we have a question for you here. What is your family also getting more fit with you since you're getting fit?
Well, my son burns energy like nobody's business, so he's fit to begin with.
Get him to eat
Uh,
some more protein. People with ADHD, would you get them to eat some more protein?
we're working
They'll
on
build
it.
some muscle.
Working out with me sometimes. My wife, she's a martial artist. She's done Filipino knife and stick fighting. She's done taekwondo. Has done some basic judo. She's been doing Jeet Kune Do now for probably about 11 years or so.
Hmm.
So my wife is a literal walking badass. She's all of 5'2", and she scares the crap out of me. She
That's
is
good.
she's an absolute beast. I mean, she does sparring nonstop.
Damn, sounds like
She
you guys are a fit couple.
we are a fit couple now. At least now I
Yeah,
stand it when she wants to spar. Normally I would run from her,
yeah.
but she's
All right.
really active, and she's been a really big cheerleader of me.
That's so awesome that you have that support. Because there's something to be grateful for. Because there's some people that I'm working with that they don't have that support. So gratitude opens up the door for a better life. That's a lot of stuff you have to be grateful for. And now that you're a better version of yourself, it's easier to be grateful for those things because you're more proud of who you are. And that's the last big question I wanted to get into. Like, what are you most proud of during this journey that you went through?
I'm most proud of the person I've become, and I'm really proud of the fact that I found value in my life again. When I didn't value it, I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but I knew the path I was heading down. To finally find my worth, to find my value again, and to have a whole new outlook on my day, that's probably been that's the best part of it. To have new purpose.
100%. Crazy. So, any last words for someone who is maybe on their fitness journey, struggling to get results, or getting started on their fitness journey, and they're not as consistent as you were? Any advice for someone to get more consistent, to start taking this a little bit serious, so they can go through a transformation like you?
Just don't give up on yourself. Keep telling yourself every day when you show up that you showed up. Push a little harder each time, and if you ever second guess yourself, reach out to the group, to you for support, or just tell yourself that you're worth it. That would be it.
100%. Well, I appreciate you so much, Kevin, for taking time out of your day to talk to us.
No, thank you for the privilege. This was actually a lot of fun and huge honor. So thank
Yeah,
you.
we should do this again. I want to do this with more of my clients. So if you want to do this again, Damon, if you want to do this sometime with me, and guys, if you want to be involved in this type of experience, you want to go through a transformation, you want results like Kevin, where it completely changed his life dramatically, or you just want to lose like 30 pounds and build some muscle, DM me fit, and I'll reach out and see if I can help. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Kevin.